Howdy ho, neighborinos. Welcome to Virtual English 2, Day 25, or as I like to call it, Introduction to Writing Purposes, because we're going to explore writing purposes. It's the next step in our exploration of what is an essay, because an essay fulfills many purposes. There are 6 purposes that you'll mainly encounter in your life. In fact, most of the time, whenever you get to a higher level of writing, most of them they'll start blending these purposes together in order to accomplish their feat. In fact, a couple of videos that you're going to interact with today possibly will do just that. So that is what it is. The introduction to writing purposes is what we're doing. Before we do that, though, let's talk about your personal narratives. At the time of recording this, which is 3/12 on September 29th, 2020, I have graded all but 30 of your personal narratives. So I've gotten almost half of the sophomore class's personal narratives done. Just a friendly reminder of what grades mean. So I'm just going to kind of explain to you, like there's a rubric that I'm following. In fact, here's the rubric that I follow as I read it and grade it. And there's certain criteria that if your essay falls into that does not meet that criteria, it drops down to the next grade. Actually, I take that back because it's not necessarily that you're losing points. Whenever you write, you're actually building and you're gaining points as you go. Like you don't start off with 100 and lose anything. You start off with 0 and build your way up to where you get to. That's kind of how like writing and actual grading works. You don't lose points, you gain points. But with that said, I've graded half of them. And just a friendly reminder, here's what the grades mean. If you get a C, that means average. It's nothing wrong. You were up to stuff. You did exactly what was expected to you. There's this weird thing that has arisen over the past decade where you think that if you did the assignment, you deserve an A. That's not the case. Grade inflation is a real thing, and all because you did the assignment does not mean you deserve to get an A. A is reserved for something else. If you did a solid job, if you did what was expected, if you did what was up to stuff, what was average, that's what C is. C is average. There's nothing wrong with C. B is good. You had a good essay. There are a couple things that held it back, but overall, B is a good essay. So C, you did this is adequate. This works for what needs to be done. B, good job. That was good. That was good. A is excellent. A is really good. It is above and beyond. It is one of the best. Like I want to share this essay with other people. And I've had some B essays that were like that, but there's just a couple things that were holding them back from me being able to give them an A based on the holistic rubric here. But that's kind of how you look at it. Of course, is below average, not up to snuff, and then F, you just failed. There were certain aspects that kind of fell apart. For the Fs, mainly a lot of just solid one of the areas on the rubric for paragraphs, and you gave me just one paragraph that was 500 words. You're probably going to get knocked for that because you did not break up your ideas efficiently. So that was the big thing with development that's holding it back. The use of show don't tell is another thing. The deeper significance, the reflection is another thing that's holding people back with their development. Organization, it's the introduction and the conclusions. How you start it, how you end it. Sometimes it's not necessarily effective, so that hurts you a little bit. And then I haven't had too many problems with focus, but if you talk about more than just your topic, that's where the focus issue starts to come up. But that's how I go about grading. Remember, C is average. There's nothing wrong with a C. You did what was expected. It's adequate. B is good. A is excellent. D is below average. And F is fail. All right, so let's get on to what we're actually talking about today, writing purposes. And I will share with you the actual thing. So writing purposes, here is what we have for you. There are 6 writing purposes that exist in the world. I want you to read these along with me, I guess. I lost my train of thought there for a second. So yes, 90% of writing you will cover one of these 6 purposes. And as I mentioned before, more advanced writers will start to blend these purposes together to fill their overall purpose, which is usually the last purpose that they take. And most of the time, they're moving towards a take a stand, propose a solution, or evaluate. And usually the last one, the higher level thing they're pointing towards. But At the level of writing most of you are at, it's perfectly fine just to focus on one. So express and reflect is the type of essay that you just got done writing. It's the type of real world writing that you just did. And when you express and reflect, you, the writer, express and reflect on your own life experiences and often look backward in order to look forward. Then you have inform and explain. This is one of the more popular ones that we force you to do in school. This is where you, the writer, state a main point and purpose, and then you try to present the information in a surprising way. And then you have evaluate and judge. This is one that's becoming more popular thanks to the internet. When you evaluate and judge, you're simply doing a review. The writer, you, will focus on the worth of a person, object, idea, or other phenomenon, and usually have criteria that you're judging that object on to being seen as good or bad. So you have criteria that say this is good, this is bad. What I just got done talking about was me evaluating and judging, because I'm not gonna lie, I'm using criteria to determine the worth of your essay whenever I'm grading it. So I am doing evaluative and judgmental writing whenever I'm doing that. And then you have inquire and explore. This is a writing purpose personally that I'd like to see schools use a little bit more. This is where you, the writer, wrestle with a question or a problem. You have a question that you want answered. You have a problem that you want solved. And so this kind of shows your thinking, as the video yesterday, the TED Talk we watched yesterday discusses. You show your thinking. This hooks you hook with the problem and let the reader watch you wrestle with it, trying to figure out the answer. And usually there's not the end of the mind for inquiry and exploration. It's just to learn. Analyze and interpret. This is the one that traditionally is the one that you use the most in English class. The writer seeks to analyze and interpret a phenomenon that is difficult to understand or explain. Most of the time, this is we ask you to read something, you come up with an interpretation with it. We read it, that's the analysis. The interpretation is your thoughts on it. Then last but certainly not least is the one that a lot of people are wanting us to move towards with education, to utilize your voices, because you do have a voice, you are worth being heard, is take a stand, propose a solution, where you, the writer, seek to persuade the audience to accept a particular position on a controversial issue, and you describe the problem and propose a solution, and you provide a justification to that solution. So those are the 6 writing purposes that exist in the world. What we will be doing next is I have 2 videos that I want you to watch. They are actually both about pennies. And right now I'm going to pull them up on YouTube. I'll actually link them below. And what I want you to do is watch the video and tell me which of these 6 purposes it is. So these are the 6 purposes again. And it will be on Classroom for you to look at it. There are 2 videos that I'm going to link in the description, and I want you to tell me what the purpose of that video is. So the first one is this one right here, Deaf to Pen by CPG Gray, and the second one is actually down here by Hank Green of Vlogbrothers fame, I Hate. Both of them discuss pennies, but both of them are serving 2 different purposes, 2 different writing purposes. And I want you just to tell me which of the 2 purposes they are. So here are the 6 purposes again. Each video has the same topic, but it's fulfilling a different purpose. What I want you to do is tell me what the purpose of this video is and what the purpose of this video is. All right, so that's the first part. The second part is also not that bad. It's not super hard. This is an example, an exemplar text that you can use. So this is a mentor text that you can use to help you fulfill this assignment right here. What I want you to do is I want you to pick a topic, and I want you to come up with 18 topics off of that one topic. There are 6 purposes. You're going to come up with 3 possible writing topics for each purpose off of your one topic. Here's the example above. So Karen did the Green Bay Packers. So some of the things that she said was like for express and reflect. She could talk about how she come to love the Packers and how she watches the game with her family. Then for an inform and explain, she could talk about the history of the Packers, the rules of the game, evaluate and judge the worst moment of the playoffs last year, the best Packer ever, inquire and explore what makes the Packers good, why did they lose in the playoffs, analyze and interpret, why did they let go of Brett Favre, why did the Packers lose, take a stand, propose a solution, how can they reduce concussions, was it good to get rid of Brett Favre? So they're taking a stand and proposing the solution to that. Here's another one. This is done by Danny, and it's about skateboarding. And so he does skateboarding, and he comes with 18 topics that could be connected to skateboarding. He also includes this under purpose to help him guide to focus in on what his possible topics could be. He has feel/lessons, inform and explain. So for express and reflect, he has the feelings and the lessons he's learned from skating. Then inform and explain, you're telling something about your topic to the reader that they might not know. Evaluate and judge, you're assigning a worth, whether or not it's good or bad. Inquire and explore, wrestling with a question that you have you're trying to come up with. And then analyze and interpret is the why, asking why about it. All right, and here are some of the topics that he came up with for his original topic of skateboarding. So skateboarding is the original. A couple express and reflect ones he could do is what he learned from falling, and then like learning new tricks. He could reflect on learning new tricks they learn. For an inform and explain, he could talk about the history of skating. He can explain how to do certain tricks. For evaluate and judge, he could talk about good pros and bad pros, best tricks and not the best tricks. Inquire and explore, how are skateboards made? How can you make a living off of skating? Analyze, interpret. He's asking, why are pro boards so expensive? Why do a lot of kids skate? And he would figure out the answer to that. And then take a stand, propose a solution. He could propose that more people should skate and there should be more skate parks. So that's all you're doing. You're picking one topic. And coming up with 18 topics based on that. Use these questions to help you come up with those particular topics for each of the writing purposes. Some of your classmates have done video. They did their favorite baseball team or football team. They did volleyball. There's a lot of volleyball topics. Someone did makeup. Someone did cooking. We had snakes. We had trees. There's a variety of topics. Any topic that you feel like, you can pick that. And I just want you to come up with 18 topics off of your one broader topic. So that's what I want you to do. That's the assignment of 18 topics off of your one. And on top, I want you to tell me what writing purpose these two videos right here fulfilled, the Death to Pennies and I Hate Pennies videos. So what are these videos' purposes? And after you do that, then I want you to do the one topic equals 18 topics activity. That's all I have for you for today. Tomorrow we'll be back and we'll be talking about introductions. And I get to show you one of my wacky PowerPoint. Woo! So until next time, my name's been Paul Day, your English teacher, and like, subscribe, bell, link, whatever the YouTubers say. I guess sayonara. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.